What's up, Banger family? It's your girl, Banger Girl, and I'm back with another banger. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a beat breakdown of a Drake type beat that could be found on his new album, For the Dogs. I know his album has been the subject of much controversy, but one thing we cannot deny when it comes to Drake is that his production is always fire. So, without further ado, let's get it. Alright, y'all, so I have the Logic Pro project open. First, I'm going to go through the melodic elements, and then we'll move to the other elements of the track. So first, we have this synth pad. It's in the key of C minor. A lot of Drake's songs, especially like his R&B or his more slow tempo tracks, he uses like a lot of, whether it be samples, filtered out samples, ambient pads, ambient synths. It has a very like underwater feel kind of, and that's his vibe usually when it comes to this type of like track. So that's what I used. And this is the synth without any processing. Now what I did was I just simply reversed it, and then I added this Murder Melodies plugin, and I have my favorite preset, Deep Wave. I kind of played around with the high pass and low pass filter, and this is what it sounds with the processing. Now it just kind of gives it like a different feel. Nothing too crazy, but I like the little minor change that it adds. So then the next track that I loaded in was another synth loop, and this is what it sounds like. Now this loop has like a pulsating effect, and I also feel like I hear a phaser effect on it. I just wanted to add this. It's very subtle, but it's gonna come under the other synth track in certain parts, and it just adds a little texture, a little color, and that layered feel. So as you can see, when you stack them together, it just adds a fuller sound. It's still in line with the same key, obviously. It doesn't add too much alteration, but I just like that feel of it. I found this wah-wah guitar melody in Arcade. I feel like it just adds like a sexy vibe. It's from the Honey kit. So when you add that and you layer that with the original pad, but I feel like it's setting you up for some like something. All right, so we have that. And that same melody comes on in the chorus as well. And then last but not least, I have this other guitar melody. It's very simple. I just took just 2 notes of this Arcade loop, and this is what you have. Let me rename it because it's more of a stab. All right. When you add that stab sound to the synth pad and the wah-wah guitar, this is what we have. So I feel like it goes good together. I mean, a lot of people, I've been seeing a lot of stuff online about people who use samples. I know in a lot of my tutorials, it might seem as though I use a lot of samples, and I do. I've always kind of been the producer that made stuff from scratch, and I kind of was one of those producers who looked down on other producers who just use samples because I'm like, oh, you're taking the easy way out. Until I started using samples, and I realized like, yeah, you can take a sample and it'll take the need to like basically create a melody or create a sound from scratch. It alleviates that from you, right? But it's like you still have to have like active listening, and you still have to have like a creative mind to kind of flip the sample and make it sound new. So once I started playing around with samples, and I'm by no means a professional at it, I started to gain appreciation for producers who make fire beats and samples, because it's more than meets the eye, basically. All right, so let's get into the percussive elements. So in the intro, I have this nice little bass loop that comes in. Now this is super Drake nostalgia right here, because Drake was at a point using like a lot of mood bass in his songs like back in the day, so I just felt like it was fitting. And then I just have this hi-hat loop here. And I added a halftime on it because it was usually this, but I wanted to add a halftime just to switch it up. So you add that with the bass. So then we move to a simple snare and closed hat pattern. I wanted to keep it simple just to create that groove. And then we have some hi-hats. Different pitching. And we add the kick drum. Again, another simple, typical like pattern. And then we add the 808. So let's add it in. So it's pretty simple, nothing too crazy. And then just to add a little differentiation, I added added a transition. And what that's doing is just breaking up like the monotony of the track a little bit, just adding like an intro. It's more so like a prompt, like it's letting the listener know, okay, we might be moving to a different section of the beat. And then last but not least, I just have this simple vocal chop that I found. Nothing crazy. But when you combine all the elements, it sounds fire. And this is what we got. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That is a beat breakdown of a Drake type beat that could be found on his new project, For All the Dogs. I hope you enjoyed this beat breakdown. If you haven't done so already, please make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Leave something in the comments for me. Let me know that you're vibing with it, all that good stuff. So as always, stay safe, keep creating. Peace.